Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast that brings you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm excited to share today's top stories with you. We're starting off with a developing story out of Sudan, where the eastern city of Port Sudan has been attacked by paramilitaries in a drone strike. According to reports, the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, targeted Osman Digna Air Base, a goods warehouse, and some civilian facilities in the city. The Sudanese military has confirmed the attack, saying that there were no casualties but limited damage. This attack is significant because Port Sudan has been the government's temporary seat of power since the war broke out in 2023. The city had been spared any violence until now, making this a notable escalation in the conflict. The RSF and the Sudanese armed forces have been locked in a bitter struggle for control of the country, with both sides accused of committing war crimes and violating international humanitarian law. The conflict in Sudan has resulted in tens of thousands of deaths and over 12 million displaced people, making it one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world. The international community has been calling for an end to the violence and a peaceful resolution to the conflict. But so far, a lasting solution has proven elusive. It's worth noting that the RSF and the Sudanese armed forces were once allies, working together to oust former President Omar al-Bashir in 2019. However, their relationship deteriorated over time, with the two sides disagreeing on issues such as power sharing and the integration of the RSF into the National Army. As the situation in Sudan continues to unfold, we'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we urge all parties involved to prioritize the safety and well-being of civilians and to work towards a peaceful resolution to the conflict. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into our middle segment. Today, we're exploring a thought-provoking topic that has been making headlines in Egypt and beyond. A recent television drama, Lam Shamia, has been tackling the sensitive issue of child sexual abuse and its impact on families and society as a whole. This Egyptian drama has sparked a national conversation about the prevalence of child abuse and the importance of speaking out against it. The show's storyline follows a young boy who is abused by a family friend and the subsequent struggle of his mother to seek justice and support for her son. What's remarkable about this series is its bold approach to addressing a topic that is often shrouded in silence and stigma. According to reports, the show has led to an increase in calls to national child protection services, with many survivors sharing their own stories online. This is a significant step forward in raising awareness and encouraging victims to come forward. However, it's also important to acknowledge that there is still much work to be done in supporting those affected by abuse and ensuring that perpetrators are held accountable. In Egypt, as in many other countries, child abuse remains a pervasive issue, with many cases going unreported due to fear of stigma or retaliation. The show's portrayal of the challenges faced by families in seeking justice and support is both heartbreaking and thought-provoking. It's essential to recognize that this is not just an Egyptian issue, but a global problem that requires a collective effort to address. By sharing stories like these and creating a safe space for discussion, we can work towards creating a society that prioritizes the protection and well-being of all children. As we continue to explore this important topic, it's crucial to approach it with sensitivity and respect for those who have been affected by abuse. We must also acknowledge the complexity of the issue and the need for a multifaceted approach to prevention, support, and justice. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's dive into the latest developments in British politics. The recent local elections have sent shockwaves through the country, with Reform UK emerging as a major force to be reckoned with. The party, led by Nigel Farage, has gained over 600 seats and taken control of 10 local authorities, leaving both the Conservative and Labour parties reeling. Now, let's take a closer look at what this means for the country. Reform UK's chairman, Sia Yusuf, has announced that the party is considering legal challenges against asylum hotels in areas where they now have control. This move has sparked controversy, with some critics arguing that it's a divisive and discriminatory policy. However, Yusuf claims that the party is committed to fulfilling its pledge to voters and will use every available means to resist housing asylum seekers in reform-controlled areas. It's also worth noting that the Conservative Party is facing internal pressure, with some members calling for leader Kemi Badenoch to resign following the disappointing election results. Meanwhile, Labour is grappling with its own challenges, as Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick has come out in support of Badenoch, saying she's doing an excellent job. As we analyze these developments, it's essential to consider the broader implications for British politics. The rise of Reform UK and the decline of traditional parties may signal a significant shift in the country's political landscape. It's crucial to approach this topic with nuance and balance, recognizing both the concerns and aspirations of all parties involved. In conclusion, these are indeed interesting times for British politics. As we navigate the complexities of this evolving landscape, it's essential to stay informed, engaged, and open-minded. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.